Hi World guys, how you doing today? Hope you're doing well. Today we're going to talk about another Spanish author, and this guy's name is Pedro Calderon de la Barca. P-E-D-R-O, Pete. Calderon, C-A-L-D-E-R-O-N. De, D-E, la, L-A, Barca. B-A-R-C-A. Pedro Calderon de Barca. He was born in 1600 and lived 81 years. 1600 to 1681. So he was kind of an old dude for the time. People usually didn't live that long back then. And he was a playwright. That's his claim to fame. If you remember, I said the Renaissance was very important for the production of plays in England and in Spain. The 1600s in Spain was known as the golden century of Spanish literature. The 1600s were the golden century of Spanish literature. Okay, so got a lot of stuff going on, especially dramas. And Pedro Calderon de la Barca was a playwright. He wrote a lot of plays. He was the king of Spain's favorite playwright, and the king of Spain commissioned Calderon, he goes by Calderon, to write plays to be performed at the castle in Madrid. And so he kind of supported him financially as an official writer, entertainer of the court. He became very popular. His plays became very popular, and everybody knew his name because of his connection with the king and all of the play parties they'd have and galas and openings and things like that in Madrid and also in other cities in Spain. Everybody who was anybody went to the theater in Spain in the 1600s. It was the thing to do. Some of his titles are Life is a Dream, his most important. I'll talk about that in a minute. Life is a Dream. Secret Offense. Secret Offense. Daughter of the Air. And the Phantom Lady. Daughter of the Air and the Phantom Lady. He became a priest after his mistress died. He had had a mistress for many years. They had never married. That's the word, mistress. And he was just devastated with her death. Just the loss was just too much for him to take. And so he turned to God, he turned to Christ, and he became a monk and lived in a monastery for several years. Interestingly enough, he was very, very guilty about his mistress's death because the mistress died while giving birth to their son. The son didn't last long after birth either, but Calderon felt extraordinarily guilty for the death of his mistress and their son. He became a nurse while in the Spanish monastery, and he lived in Seville, S-E-V-I-L-L-E, a large city in Spain, and he tended to the sick in the hospitals of Seville. He became a nurse and a mentor and spread the word of God in hospitals. So his claim to fame is Life is a Dream, a play. These are all plays that he wrote. And Life is a Dream is kind of a comedy, and it's surrealistic. It's not really to be taken literally, okay? It's all allegorical, symbolic. And it's kind of mystified critics ever since it was first produced back in Spain in the 1600s. His theme of Life is a Dream is be responsible. Assume responsibility for your words and for your actions. That's what a human being, a mature human being does. Male or female, you must be responsible. And it's surrealistic because it's kind of dreamlike. Remember when we talked about Aristophanes, who wrote Lysistrata in the Greek days of playwriting? You know, the wasps and the frogs, you know, characters were wasps and frogs in those two plays. Life is a Dream doesn't have frogs and wasps, but it has characters, it has settings, events that are really kind of dreamlike and fantastical. And critics, even today, when they read that play or see that play in production, they think, wow, this guy's really ahead of his time. It's just really a philosophy for living rather than a play for entertainment, because the main character suffers as a result of not being a responsible person. And maybe Calderon wrote that because of the death of his mistress, that he was not responsible for this woman. He did not treat her as a woman, as a lover, as a wife. And so he could very well have written this play consumed with the guilt of the responsibility he felt of having his mistress and his son die. So I kind of feel sorry for him, but I've never seen Life is a Dream, but it's really non-connected. There are events kind of like a dream, where you're here in a dream and then you're suddenly transported to there. So it really has mystified people to this day. I'd love to see it produced on stage. I think that'd really be cool. Spanish playwrights are kind of ahead of their time, really kind of ahead of their time. They saw things differently than most people. And that's Calderon. Pedro. Have a good day. See you later. We'll probably move out of Spain next, I bet you. See you guys. Bye-bye.